Hi, how are you? Good. We are going to do the art project today. D is for dot. Would you like to do it with me? Yay, so excited. So let's talk about what we need. Can you tell me what this letter is? It is the letter D, and it's got Skittles on the back. Do you know what the letter D sounds like? So in our zoophonics, we say D, D, deer says D, D, D. And later on, we'll be talking about different words that have that sound in the beginning, have the D, D sound. So put it in your head, be thinking of it. We need a marker to write our name, or crayon, or whatever we have. Scissors. I'm going to use a glue stick this time, but you can use any kind of glue. Water if you get thirsty. Make sure that you put your water far enough away from your art so that if it spills, it doesn't get on your art project. And then I brought a little extra something. I brought my bottle of Calm Spray. I talk about it all the time, that art can be so calming. Have you ever felt that? Okay. And do you remember what kind of art project you were doing when you felt just calm? Could be painting, or coloring, or maybe cutting, or counting. Okay. Awesome. In our last book that I read to you, it was called Let's Talk About It, Feeling Angry. And in that story, we talked a lot about different things that we could do to take care of ourselves when we feel anger. So taking care of ourselves means we're going to be good to ourselves because we want to listen to our feelings. We don't want to feel bad because of our feelings, because if we do, we won't learn from them. You might feel bad for just a little bit, but it should come out when you let the anger out in a way that's safe. So I wanted to try to make this a relaxing, calm video. So to see if maybe art does help you be calm, feel calm. Okay. And we've never made a calm video with one of the letters. So I figured, let's try it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want you to imagine your favorite smell in the whole world. It might be when a grown-up bakes a cake or cupcakes and the way it smells when it comes out of the oven. Or maybe it's when cookies are being made. Maybe it's a smell that a grown-up puts in your bath. Maybe it's what your soap smells like when you take a shower. It could even be when you step outside and it's raining. Do you like that smell? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Helps me feel calm immediately. So, close your eyes. Don't worry, this won't get you wet. But close your eyes and imagine your favorite smell. It could be a little baby brother or sister. If you've ever smelled a baby, they smell pretty amazing most of the time. Okay, did you get it? And I want you to imagine that what's coming out of this spray bottle is your favorite smell. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Let's do 2 more of those. Last one. Okay, if you haven't already, go ahead and open your eyes. Do you feel calm? Yeah, and you can feel calm even when you're happy, excited. There's always different things that we can do to help ourselves feel calm. And we don't know what all of those things are, right? Like you might say, well, I notice that when I cuddle with a soft blanket, that makes me feel calm. So you might, if you feel sad or angry, you might go try to find a soft blanket to cuddle with because it helps you feel calm. But there's so many different things that could help us feel calm. So many. And the only way we can find out is by trying them, which is why I'm making this video this way. The first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and rip off the bag from the D. And you can see I ripped mine, but it's okay because we're going to cut it out anyway. And we're going to set these to the side. Can you tell me what shape is around the bee? It's a circle. And remember, with circles, there are no straight lines, right? Yeah. Okay, next we're going to take our marker and turn your page over. Try to write your name in the middle of the page. So this is the top, this is the bottom, and this is the middle. And take your time. So what are some different things that help you feel calm? Okay. Yeah, it could be taking a walk outside, or if you have a pet you cuddle, maybe cuddling your pet helps. Maybe cuddling a grown-up in your house helps. Taking a walk and just listening to the sounds. Yeah, those are all great ways. Go ahead and flip it back over. Good job practicing your name. We're going to open our bag and we are going to count some Skittles. And believe it or not, counting is something else that might help us feel calm. Like if we're really sad or really angry, we just stop and we try to count to the number that we know. So that could be 10, could be 5, it could be higher, but that can absolutely help ground us and cause us to feel calm. And learning how to calm yourself is so important, and it's such an amazing thing to practice when you're in preschool, because if you practice and practice and practice, you're going to be so good at it by the time you're grown up. So I'm going to count, we're going to count to 5, and these 5 Skittles are going to be the ones that we eat. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good counting. So we're going to take those Skittles. Let's put the rest of them in the bag for now. And let's eat them. Those are so delicious. Have you guys ever wondered why does Miss Alyssa have us do art with candy? Or why does she just have us pick out 5? Why can't we eat as much as we want to eat? Well, your parents are in charge of how much you eat. I like to practice It's not a good idea to try to talk and chew Skittles at the same time. But I like to practice doing this with you because it's something that is also really great. It's really great to practice when you're in preschool. And it's one of those things when we practice it, we don't always do it right. We don't always stop at 5, and that's okay. It's more about the practice. So I chose 5 Skittles because it's not a whole lot of sugar. We're not going to eat the whole bag because then we wouldn't be able to put anything on our D. And we know that eating healthy foods is good for our body. So it's absolutely okay to eat sugar. Absolutely. We want to set limits for ourselves. Meaning, okay, I really want some Skittles. But if we eat too much Skittles or any kind of candy, how do we feel? Yeah, it makes me feel so icky. So we're just basically practicing making healthy choices. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Skittles to the side and just put them back in the bag. Now let's grab our scissors and start cutting. Did you bring your cutting muscles to school today? Awesome, yes, your muscles are getting so big. And we're going to practice cutting in a circle. Practice, practice. Practice means that it's going to take us a while to do it exactly right. And that's okay. I say it all the time. When we're learning something new, not getting it just right is a part of it. That is true for kids. It is also true for adults. Okay. How's your cutting coming? Good. Good. If you get frustrated, you can take a break, take a breath, or if your hand gets tired, you can shake out your hand. So whenever you're done, you'll go ahead and put your scissors to the side. Take your time. You can pause the video if you want some more time too. I don't want you to rush. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, we are going to be curious. Do you remember what that means? It's when we see something or something happens and we want to know more about it. Why does that happen? What do I think is going to happen? And what I thought would happen, was it that amount? If not, was it less or more? So you can be curious about absolutely everything on the planet. But today we're going to use our curious minds to make a guess about how many Skittles, just looking at the letter D, looking at our Skittles, how many Skittles do you think we will need to cover the D? And remember, it doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. We're just making a guess. Okay. What do you think? Let's see. Let's investigate and find out the answer. I'm going to grab a handful of Skittles. And I'd like to count to 12. Can you count to 12 with me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Give yourself a pat on the back for good counting. I'm going to put my other Skittle back in the bag just in case. This is my guess. This is how many Skittles I think it will take. I may be wrong. I may be right. And that's okay because it's just my guess. So put whatever Skittles, how many ever Skittles you think it's going to take. And then when you're done putting them out, we're going to start gluing them on and see. So what is your favorite color Skittle? Maybe it's your favorite color to eat, or maybe it's just your favorite color in general. Do you have a favorite color? Is that also your favorite color Skittle? Okay. If it's not, if it's different, what's your favorite color Skittle? Yeah, I like that one too. We need our pinch your fingers, remember? And we're going to glue. So I'm thinking about the sound D, duh, duh, duh. What words do you think might start with the letter D? How about duh, duh, dog? Does that start with that sound? Yeah, do you hear it? How about this glue? Is a little bit messy, but that's okay. I'm working it out. How about duh, duh, door? Do you hear that sound in the beginning? Yep. Okay. They're like slipping out of my hands and also sticking simultaneously, so it just looks like I can't hold them. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I wouldn't recommend you stick your finger in your glue stick unless the grown-up in your house tells you it's okay, but I really was curious about how the glue stick worked as opposed to regular liquid glue. Does glue stick work better? Does it not work so good? But see, I won't know the answer unless I make a guess and then I try it. And I'm pretty sure what my guess is right now. It's hard. It's harder, that's for sure. We'll see how well it works to keep the dots on. So we're using Skittles, but they're small circles. They look just like dots, right? And what shape are dots? Do you remember? They're the shape of a circle. Okay, I'm gonna grab something for my glue. So I saw that the liquid or the glue stick wasn't working great. Maybe you got it to work, that's amazing. But because I feel like it's not working great, I want to try something maybe a little bit different. But I really want to see if the glue stick holds Skittles to my letter D as much as liquid glue. So I'm sticking with it, but I'm going to use the top of this. And again, if you're doing this at home, ask the grown-up in the house if it's okay. And I'm going to dip this in so I can get little bits of glue out without getting it all over my fingers. That works better. All right. So another word that starts with D is D, D, dad. You hear it? Mm-hmm. Another one is a D, D, desk. Can you think of any animals that might start with the letter D? Deer, yes, just like D, deer. And also, these animals are birds, and they like to swim in the lakes, and they float. And they have little feet at the bottom that takes them wherever they want to go, and they quack. Duck. Very good. So you can hear that sound in each one of those words. Okay. My hands are super sticky. Do you guys like getting glue on your hands? Yeah, some people really like the way that it feels. I don't like it, but that's okay. We can like different things. Okay. It looks like I'm almost at the end of my 12 Skittles. And I can see a whole other part of my D that needs Skittles on it. So my guess was not correct. That means it wasn't the amount of Skittles that I thought. It looks like we need more. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some more Skittles. And I'm going to see how many Skittles it takes by finishing gluing them on and then counting them. And I think it's going to be a big number. What do you think? Yeah, because these dots, these Skittles that are in the shape of a dot, are they big or small? They are small. So whatever you're using when we do our letters, if we're using something that's big, it's going to cover the space with less of them. So like, for example, the cotton, C is for cotton balls. I think that one took about 10, but it's because the cotton balls are bigger. So if we're using something smaller, we're going to need more. That's something I'm going to remember the next time I'm curious about how many it takes to cover a letter. And the letters are different. They're different sizes. Each letter will probably take a different amount, but it's just information that I'm going to remember. So I'm using something small. I think I'm about to give up on the glue stick, guys. Okay, so I see the glue stick is definitely not working. If you were using a glue stick, hopefully it worked for you. But I always get stuff all over me when I do art. I just make a mess. I don't do it on purpose, it just happens. So my fingers keep sticking, candy slipping out of my hands. I wonder if there's something that I could do differently. I could try differently. What could I do? Yes. So every time I've used a glue stick, or I'm sorry, liquid glue, that's never happened before. And I remember that. So I'm going to try something different. I don't think glue sticks are meant to be used like liquid glue. I can tell that glue sticks are really good if you want to stick paper to paper, because then you could do this, stick it right on top, and it would be perfect. Sometimes when we use liquid glue and we're sticking paper to a piece of paper, we get too much of it on accidentally, right? And it makes everything wet, and it takes a long time to dry. Glue sticks would be great for that. And I found that out because I was curious. I tried something new. When I saw that it wasn't working, I thought about what else would, and I used my memory. So I'm gonna go grab my glue